Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. Oh wow, pardon me guys. Started with a bang, started with a sneeze. Imagine that. As soon as I started, my nose started tickling and I was like, you know what, no, I'm gonna hold it. But you know what, when you get a sneeze, you get a sneeze. So you know what, I'm glad I sneezed because we are starting with a bang. And the reason I may have sneezed, before this I had to take the boys out. When I say I had to take the boys out, I wanted to take the boys out. The boys were like, Daddy, can we go to the park? And we've got a park around the back of our house and we call it the back park. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you to the park before I do a live stream. So we went out there, and you know what, I am so sad. I actually sat there playing Symphony of the Night while they ran around. I did play some Frisbee with them. In the end, we ended up losing the Frisbee in a tree. Tried getting it down, but the Frisbee's still up there. Hopefully eventually one day it will fall. So what are we doing in the stream today, guys? We are checking out a PC Engine CD core. Now this is a work in progress core. It's an update that is inbound. So Mazamars 312, aka Ultra FP64. I kind of know him better as Mazamars or Murray Atkins. He's working on this. He's a friend and he kind of hooked me up with this work in progress build, right? So some of the stuff that he's working on, there's some errors that are produced that he's trying to sort out, right? Another thing that he's doing is he's trying to get rid of right, in order to run games, if anyone's familiar with a PC Engine CD core, what we do is we need to run you need to create JSON files corresponding to the games that you've got, and it loads them up. I mean, the updaters have made it really easy. On pup data, you can go into one of the options, right, and by going into one of those options, you can just say generate PC Engine JSON files, which then will load up the games that you've got on your micro SD card. I mean, the process is made easy, but what Mazamars is trying to do, he's trying to get rid of the requirement for JSON. So you just put your games on there, you load them up the way that you load your SNES games up. So it's definitely gearing up to be something interesting. I know Mazamars is busy with work, like most of us, right? What I do on YouTube is a hobby. What a lot of developers do is just a hobby, right? So really looking forward to that. But you know what, guys, let's try something. I found an old TV advert, right, for a PC Engine or a TurboGrafx Duo, right? I couldn't find a Japanese one. Now I can't hear the sound of this. Hopefully the levels aren't too mad draining and you haven't got someone. Let me just turn it down a little bit because I think someone's talking when I did listen to it earlier. So here we go. We're going to listen to a PC Engine, or we're going to watch a PC Engine CD ad from, I don't know, whatever year this came out on. At some point, guys, I really want to do a live stream where we're going through like a whole bunch of adverts, right? Lots of different formats, Japanese ones. I found an archive on the internet where I've got like 65 gig of just adverts, man. I mean, they're low quality, right? But this is from the era of CRTs. People probably had these on like VHS tapes in between like TV shows that they recorded, and yeah, so that we've got those, and I kind of ran a poll over on the channel saying, are you guys interested in a live stream? Because you know, I kind of dig that, right? I kind of like that stuff. I like watching those old adverts. In particular, there's an account that I follow over on Twitter, a Strider something, right? The guy is just awesome, man. He keeps posting these old adverts, and most recently I saw one for Final Fight 2 or 3, and it was just wicked. The advert was just wicked, and I was like, you know what, I need to watch some of these old adverts, man. I don't really watch TV. I don't know what modern adverts are apart from the ones that I see on YouTube in between stuff, but I am super hyped about like watching some of these adverts and just this kind of stuff here, right? It takes us back to a simpler time, right, where you know, you didn't have advertising everywhere, wherever you went, right? You know, your computer, like Windows 11, didn't have like all adverts in the start menu and ads everywhere, right? But you know what? It was all right. Like back then, obviously adverts were adverts, but going back to them and in hindsight, it looked good, man. So yeah, so this is the TurboGrafx Duo advert. Hopefully I can find some Japanese ones. That'd be wicked. Change log. Oh, okay. Right. You know what? Okay. So this core isn't actually out yet. So what it is like Mazamars always kind of hooks me up with his work in progress, and I usually help him test it. So while I'm at work on my break or something, I'll have the Analogue Pocket with me and I'll start firing away, and if I find any issues, and I think I just found an issue here, right? If you look at the top of the screen, you've got a little like a little graphical kind of glitch there, right? Now when I'm playing this in handheld mode, that glitch is not there, so that's something to report back to Mazamars too, right? When docked, there's a weird glitch up there, but usually if there's a graphical imperfection or something, it's in handheld mode, and then it carries on over to the dock as well. But this is really weird because I took it out a couple of times while I was doing the setup, because I don't remember seeing this line up there, right? And I was like, okay, let me try it out, guys. All right, so that advert's gone. Let me just make sure that's off, and let me get a soundtrack back for this, guys, because soundtrack for this is fantastic, man. The intro for this is just absolutely brilliant. So this is the Rondo Castlevania game. I tried running the translation wasn't quite working, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure if it worked for me before or not, but yeah, it's awesome. So guys, I'm a big fan of the PC Engine. The PC Engine CD is something that I never ever played, only years later via emulation, and obviously when I got my Mister, it's something that I enjoyed playing as well. But this game is just pure style, man. I mean, wow, just look at that. That's Richter, right? The way he looks, it's just amazing. Like the art style, everything here. Now this game is tough. Apparently there's a tougher Castlevania. I think the one on the Super Nintendo tougher than this, or is this the toughest? Either way, I find it hard. Like I'm replaying Castlevania Symphony of Night at the moment, and I'm loving it, and I really want to complete it. There's a whole bunch of new games for me to kind of play, like the Paper Mario game. I kind of want to start that, but if I start playing that, I won't go back to Symphony of the Night, right? Symphony of the Night, I'm on the inverted castle. I just got there. I just beat Richter by smashing that green thing above his head. I'm doing it all the right way, and I want to finish it, right? So I'm about halfway through the game, right? So hey guys, welcome everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday wherever you are. Absolutely awesome. If you haven't pressed that like button, please do, because it really does help the channel. It kind of helps like stuff gets out there, or helps the video get noticed. So let's look at a game, right? So one of the games that Mazamars mentioned, in fact, okay, so another thing to kind of note here, I can't load the CD ISO or I can't load the game. I can't just change a game by picking it and doing it here. Unfortunately for now, the only way that I can, unless, hold on, let's try something. If I go, let's go bonk 3, right? And let's go reset core. Let's see, does it still load Castlevania, or is it gonna load bonk 3? That'll be interesting, because I haven't tried it. No, it's gone back to Castlevania. Okay, that's interesting. So what I always need to do is I just have to quit core for now, unless I'm doing something wrong, and I never rule that out, right? I'm known to make mistakes. So one of the games that is working on this new one now is the Sherlock Holmes games. So I don't really know much about these. Maybe I would have played them back in the day, because I did like the Phoenix Wright games, and they run now, and the videos in this run. I think on the previous version of the core, the version of the core that is publicly available, this game doesn't actually work, and this was an interesting one to see. I can see part of the screen is cut off there, so maybe that's something that needs to be resolved. Look, it's not quite right, yeah. So we've got a gap at the top, and we're missing some of the bottom. So let's go to the Mummy's Curse, right? And okay, how do I begin? Okay. Oh, load game. I don't know. I did actually get this up and running. Why is it not running now? Interesting. Oh, do I need to go over here? No? Ah, here we go. Okay, I need to shoot that bit. And this is interesting, right? Because let's hear some Sherlock. I'm going to turn it up a bit, guys.
Beautiful city. Under the soot that covers its buildings is a teeming mass of 4 million souls trying to survive, mostly off of each other. You see it in the paper every day. Thankfully, we have the London Times to keep us informed of all these troubling activities with an unbiased eye and razor-sharp accuracy. We find this publication to be of invaluable assistance in our investigations, and I'm sure you will as well. Among the forces of evil which run rampant in this city, there are harmony and civility to the streets of London. The first of these groups is a ragtag association of young ruffians. I call them the Baker Street Irregulars. Don't let them fool you. They may be scruffy and ill-bred, but they are on the right side of the law. They can go everywhere, see everything, and overhear everyone. They are my eyes and ears in the streets of London, unquestionably a tremendous asset in our work. They will help us in our investigations if they can. The other group is a far more civilized collection of gentlemen and institutions. I call them the Baker Street Regulars. They, too, will be extremely useful in our work. Twist facts to suit theories instead of theories to suit facts.
Okay, you know what? He's going on for quite some time. Let me see if I can get rid of him by pressing the button, right? So this is a game a lot of people mentioned, and I didn't really know anything about it, but here you go. It's like one of those detective games, right? So if this is something that was crashing for you before, hopefully this is something that's going to start working now. Okay, this isn't going to be the best eye candy, so let's kind of go out of here. Let's restart and let's go back into it, guys. If you've got any requests, then hit me with your requests, guys, because we can go through it. I've got quite a big selection on here. In fact, I would go as far as to say it takes up the vast majority of my micro SD card. So let's have a look, actually. So 317, okay, so but the version number may not have been updated. I think it's a newer number that I've got. Let's have a look. What's the, oh, okay, so all right, no, that's 1.0 for the Analogizer, and 017. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is the version. It's definitely a newer version because I did add it on there once I got it from Mazamar. So let me have a look at chat. Yeah, so yeah, the FMV is working now, Michael, which is pretty awesome, right? So some of these games say, oh, Shadow of the Beast. Okay, that was interesting, right? Because we just saw that in the advert, right? And I kind of forget that that was actually out. So initially, I think I got two versions of this core very, very quickly. Like at one point, there was an issue with the MPU, but Mazamar fixed it up quickly and sent me a newer version of the core. But it's a little bit weird where I don't know if part of the top is missing, right? Or, you know, we've got a big gap at the bottom. So I'll send Mazamar's a link of the stream after, and just tell him to have a flick through each game as well, just to see if he spots anything. But yeah, that flickering at the top of Castlevania, that was not there on a previous version of the core. So again, like, the purpose of this video is, well, I was going to test this out for Mazza, because you know what, Mazamar's he's helped me a lot since I've started the channel. Like, he's done a lot of stuff for the channel in the background, like, and I really do appreciate the guy. Like, he's hooked me up with a lot of stuff. He's done stuff that's boosted a lot of views and subscribers on the channel. He's given me good content, and he's just a really good guy, man. I consider him a friend. So I thought, what a great way to kind of test it, right? And I can also test it, and I can also do a live stream at the same time. So right, Shadow of the Beast. So this was one of the games that was big in the 16-bit era, right? We're talking about the Amiga and the Atari ST. Now, I always thought Shadow of the Beast looked great, but it played like very pony. It just wasn't that much fun to play, at least not for me. I remember it being a technical marvel at the time, man. It was pretty badass, right? But yeah, let's see how it is on the PC Engine. I remember the sequels being, or one of the sequel, either 2 or 3, actually being really good. I remember playing it on a live stream. Someone recommended it. It may have been on the SNES or the Mega Drive, and I was like, wow, this is really good. Yo, Alan Roth, hello to you, man. How are you doing? Okay, so here we go. So I doubt this is going to look as good as the Amiga version. Let's have a look. Yo, wasn't fun. Look, yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, okay, I think the Amiga version looks better, but it was all the scrolling, right? The way the floor looks, like, it just looked really good. I remember it just looked absolutely wicked. Yo, wicked. How is the CD quality audio on this core? You know, I haven't got the sound too loud, because when I do streams, I don't have headphones on. I'm one of those people that I like to hear. I got kids, you know, they're downstairs. Obviously my wife's downstairs. My daughter's like, you know, like a young adult that thinks she knows everything, but she's going to be 16 soon, so they're in there. But I'm just always, I don't have headphones on, so when I actually listen to the sound, I'm listening it through my actual screen, right? But I'm just not doing yeah, I haven't got it very loud, so I can never ever judge the audio quality that good. And right now, looking at the bars on OBS, I can see there's not much audio. There, but for the whole part, the audio quality is good where it works. Now, at the moment, there's still a 27 file limit for bin files, the bin and Q files. You can't have more than 27 files. If you have any more than that, you're going to run into issues. They're not going to work, and the sound is going to go out of sync. And another issue that people had was, like, for example, if a game was above that 27 limit and it had, like, I don't know, 50, then you could convert that into a single bin file, right? But again, that presented issues. But there's a game, I think the Rainbow Islands version here, that's interesting, right? Because that's got very good soundtrack. Like, I absolutely love it. And the Castlevania's got a fantastic soundtrack. Why am I enjoying this more than I did when I played it initially? Maybe it's just because, you know what, these streams, I don't need to play stuff too long. We're just having fun and testing stuff out. But the sound is sounding okay to me. Let me just turn it up a little bit for you guys, so maybe you can experience some of it. Hopefully, you know, you can still hear me and whatnot. See, I haven't got it. Yeah, I haven't got it too loud. I know it's probably best to use like headphones when I'm streaming. I just don't use them, man. The filters on the mic actually do a really good job keeping every sound out but my noise. I've like, there's been noises around, and then when I've shot a video, that noise, it's not coming to the video, not even at the very slightest. Like, there's some very good filters. Like, I use, guys, people spend hundreds on a mic, right? I don't know, my mic's not the best quality. When I watch some other YouTube videos out there, I feel like their mics are definitely better, but I would say that I'm at like 80 to 90% if they're at 100%. And guys, my mic cost me £8 on Amazon, right? It is a lapel mic made by Sabrent. I like Sabrent because I've got some of the SSDs and a couple of other devices of theirs, and you know what, they work all right. And with all the filters that I use with OBS, it just does a really good job of getting me really good sound quality, right? So but yeah, the CD sound quality for me on the whole part is good. But what we can do now is, let's go. I wish if I could just load the games. Maybe that's something, you know, Maz is gonna implement in the future. But let's see if we've got Rainbow Islands here. If not, okay, I haven't, but I know I've got it because it's one of my favorite games. These ones that I did less than 27, I picked a few games that I really like, and I picked a few titles that I knew. So Rainbow Islands, guys, one of the best games out there, has a really good soundtrack. So an issue with this previously was when you did the level, it picked a different part from what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Okay, right, it picked a different sound from a different part of the game, and it played it at the end of the level. It picked the part of the boss fight on there, but here, okay, it should be, yes, that should be quite loud. So I'm gonna have it loud on purpose. I usually do have it a little bit lower, but the sound for this is good, and I'm hearing it quite low, but I like what I'm hearing. Seriously, what a game, guys. Like, I love this game, and this is one where I feel like, yeah, you know, I'd like to get the arcade core, not because I ever played the arcade version, right? It's just because it's the arcade version. It's what everything else is based on. I played this on the Amiga, and it plays fantastically well on the Amiga. So the sound used to go out of sync here. Let's see if the sound is still good. It was sorted on the last update. Oh no, it's out again. Did you notice that part there? Dun 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 dun. That, okay, so in the previous update, that kind of went. The sound was alright, and now that is back. And I don't. Okay, so what used to happen was, yeah, we would get that weird sound at the end. That's not in the game, right? You would get a little bit of a boss thing, but in the update prior to this, right, that was actually gone. I remember that being gone because that's one of the first things that I tested, because it's one of the things that I noticed. Because I never had this system, I won't notice if there's any deficiencies in there, right? But with Rainbow Islands, I noticed that. Oh man, I was hoping I got the rainbow. But as you can hear, the sound is really good. And you know, given the groundwork Mazamaz has laid out, I know a lot of people are really interested in other CD systems. One that people talk about a lot is the Sega CD, or the Mega CD as I like to call it. So yeah, it'll be nice if someone brings that across, you know, because we know CD based systems can work. I'm gonna hear that again now. Watch. Dun 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 dun. That should not be there, but then it kind of stops and then it goes back. I mean, this is still a very fun core, right? And you know, until Maz gets rid of some errors and whatnot, it's not going to be released. But I can say one thing: the guy does work fast. I was actually talking to him the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, he's busy with work, and you know, it's until he releases it." So I said, "No problem. You have it to me by the morning, yeah?" Because usually when he says it's going to take a bit of time, you know, when you get the way you get stuck into stuff, right? Often people get stuck in, and he does. But you know, the guy is busy with work, so it might be some time before we actually get an update. Not exactly sure. It might be soon, it might not be. I can't honestly tell you. But I do like testing this stuff out. So that little out of place sound bug is back. So let's now load another game, guys. I'm all down for requests. Like, seriously, any request that you want, whether I like it or hate it, I'm down with trying stuff out, man. So let's go back. Right, okay. It's nice to see lots of calls going on the Analogizer, right? I mean, the Analogizer it's just awesome, right? Let's do Gradius 2, because Gradius is Gradius, man, and hopefully I'll do well in it. I'm probably gonna suck in it, right? But And guys, if you're just tuning in, we're testing the PC Engine CD core. We've run a few games so far. Now we're doing Gradius because I love Gradius. And the good thing is, do you know what's really, really good? All right, let me we'll have a look at it. We'll have a look at the menu in just a bit, right? So do I go classic? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go a little bit different today, right? I'm gonna go this one, right? Because I always go for like the top option, right? Which is normal, right? And I always found the force field better than the shield. Weirdly enough, I'm playing Symphony of the Night, and you get this weapon where you can fire the shield out that you've got in Gradius, right? And yeah, it just it doesn't actually really do anything, or at least I couldn't figure out what it can do. I'm actually using auto fire here, but it's very, very slow. You know what? Right, let's do this. Yes, I want to destroy them all. Please let me destroy them all. Okay, so the auto fire kind of spreads it a bit, right? Need to not use auto fire. I've got to spam it here. Maybe when I get a different weapon, I can. Right, so I've got two-way missiles now. That should be interesting, but I don't think they're going to run along the ground, right? With these ones here. So we're going to go for Ripple next. Ooh. Okay, didn't quite clear those. Wow, look how those fire dragons just look awesome, man. So there's an arcade core that Scott is 77 is working on, right? And in conjunction with Protego, so that should be interesting, right? Okay, interesting. It's got auto fire as normal anyway, so that's fairly cool. Let's see how effective this is, because I know laser would be effective. Okay, I kind of shot that as well, and that shot me. But guys, one thing I did want to show you guys, right, that's quite loud. Let me just turn it down just a little bit, right? What's interesting here, I know it's in the previous versions as well, but obviously you've got the display mode, you've got controls, and you know the 6-button controller is in there as well, which as far as I know it's used for Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. I don't know if it's used for anything else. That load ROM ISO isn't working at the moment, so hopefully we can just load games without completely exiting the core. Reset core does what it says on the tin. Use turbo tap. Okay, I wonder if that's the multi-tap. It was called a turbo tap, right? Oh, I remember, okay, I don't remember now since I've changed this core version. I remember Mazza telling me to change this somewhat. I can't remember what he said change it to, so I'm not going to mess around with that for now. CD debug, what did I like in here? Okay, so this one over here, button 1 turbo, button 2 turbo, so you can have turbo fire right built into the core, which I think is really, really good, because some of the arcade cores, some of the shmups on the Analogue Pocket, right, it doesn't have the option to turn on auto fire, whereas I really would like auto fire on there, right? So if I'm playing it in docked mode and my controller has the option to switch on auto fire, dandy as candy, we can use it. But if it doesn't, then I'm there spamming buttons, and this becomes even more worse when you're playing stuff in handheld mode. So it's nice to see that option built in to this core, right? So if we're playing a shmup or something, we don't have to spam that button, and you know, we can kind of protect the Analogue Pocket more so in handheld mode. Now, something in the future I really do wish Analogue actually add in the openFPGA side, in the on the operating system side, one of the updates that comes out is auto fire for the buttons, right? That would be really good. I think I need to suggest that at some point. Okay, so there you go. We've got like audio boost options in here, CD audio boost. That I'm not gonna, we've got an arcade system one. If we run into a game that doesn't work, I'll turn that on. I remember Unloved Homie said to me that Unloved Homie is a regular on the channel, good friend. He said that he just leave this on and everything is really good. Okay, wicked. All right, guys, well, look, how's everyone doing? Let's now run another game. So I'm gonna have to exit the core, go back into the core, and fantastic. So awesome. So guys, out of the upcoming FPGA systems, which ones are you guys like most looking forward to, right? So we've got obviously the Replay 2, we've got different Mistec stuff, we've got Mars, that's like, you know, stuff that's on the horizon. We've got like the Mr. clone that's coming. I mean, that's fantastic. A handheld Mr. as well. I mean, that's gonna be awesome, right? Let's check this out. So let's go R-Type, right? So I always like R-Type, man. Not too familiar with the PC Engine CD version, to be honest, but we can give it a shot. Pun intended. Okay, let's look at the intro. And while the intro runs, I have got a drink. I have got a Pepsi Max, and I've actually noticed now that Pepsi have changed their logo to what appears to be like a really old logo, like, I don't know, from the 50s or something. I'm digging it though. I do like it. Okay, so I picked up a new laptop, guys. A guy at my work, he buys a laptop every year. I bought, in fact, the laptop that I'm using now, it's like Asus Zephyrus G17, 32 gig of RAM, a 5800X and an RTX 3070, 32 gig RAM, 8 gigabyte VRAM, right? Bought it off him like 7 months ago when he bought a new laptop. Since then, the guy bought another laptop, man. So I've just bought a new laptop off him for £550. Again, another G17, right? A G17, it's got a 7 something, I can't remember the exact model now, but the latest AMD processors are the 8000 series. This is like 7 something, right? It's got an RTX 4070 and it's got 32 gig of RAM. I didn't actually check how much the VRAM is, but the price was so cheap I couldn't refuse it. But I'm a bit annoyed. I keep telling him stop buying laptops. You make me such good deals. I keep upgrading. All 3 of my kids have got their own laptop, all gaming laptops, because I ended up buying 3 laptops in a row really, really cheap off the guy for like the price of one. So yeah, man, yeah, for 550 I paid. So this one that I'm using now, I paid him 450 last year for it, man. Like in October or November, I had to check my WhatsApp messages with the guy. And you know what? The funny thing is, I don't even use the GPU on it, right? All I do is this retro stuff. When it comes to playing a new game, I lay in bed and play it on the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, or I'll play like the Analogue Pocket, right? I don't actually use, like, by the time I've finished all the YouTube stuff that I do, last thing I want to do is sit in front of this laptop and actually play a game. I would like to play a game, but you know, I spend so much time doing my spare time doing YouTube. When it comes time to playing, man, I just want to lay down in bed and play. So I don't actually use it, but I am upgrading mine to a 4070. My daughter's going from a 3060 to a 3070, and my youngest kid is going to get 3060. The guy that I bought it off, I went around his house to pick it up today. Yeah, man, it's I think you can pick it up for about 1500 now, Alan, but it's still like, so the guy, and you know the crazy thing is, he took out 3-year extended guarantee on my new laptop, right? So I've got, and he's someone that I work with, I get on with a guy, so if anything goes wrong with a laptop within the next 2.5 years, right, it's still covered. It means they'll just replace it or repair it or whatever, because he took out the extended guarantee. When I went around his house, he told me, don't knock on the door. I've told my wife that I'm returning it and a courier is coming to pick it up. So I was joking with him saying, DHL is here, buddy. And I took my 2 boys with me. And yes, I went and picked it up. But you know what? I'll tell you what a pain is, right? As I'm actually doing this stream, I've got, so on this one here, I've got 2 drives on there, right? So I've got one drive, which I partition to 300 gig for Windows C drive, D drive at 700 gig, and then on the extra slot for an M.2 2280, I think it's a Gen 4 one, maybe Gen 3 or Gen 4, I can't remember now. I bought a 2 terabyte one, so the 2 terabyte one I can take straight out and put it in the new one. However, because the drive with Windows on it has got a split in it, it's partitioned, so I'm copying over the 700 gig part, which is all my stuff. Because you know what, getting to a new PC can be long, man. I'll have to set up all my stuff, all my OBS, all my streaming stuff is set up. I'll have to go for it. It's not that difficult, to be honest, but it is time consuming. So I'm copying stuff over to an external SSD. The extra SSD I'll put out. My kids, they don't use any storage, right? They'll play Minecraft. I think my daughter plays Minecraft and Apex Legends, and that's it, and Brawlhalla. There's nothing else to install for her, right? So the boys, again, not that many games, right? They really don't play that much, right? Let's try and give this a little go. Only thing about this type of, you need to, yeah, do you know what, yeah, I've got, I mean, to be honest, like, because it's at, like, so right, the last laptop I bought, like, for myself, full price, right, was in 2020, and that was the Asus Zephyrus G14, and I really, really like that, right, because I prefer the 14-inch one, right, because the 14-inch, it's just very, very easy to carry, it's very, very light, so I ended up buying an extra power supply, and leaving one at work. So when I took it to work, I had the extra power supply there, you know, all good. And when I'm at home, I had it like, you know, I like to hide my wiring and have it a little bit neat. Even though the amount of wires I've got now, I can't possibly have it neat. But I really like that one. That one had a 1660 Ti in it. And what I would do is, say for example, like I was working on something at home. If I took it out, or if I needed to go to the front room, or if I needed to take it to work, I could just unplug it and take it straight out. It was very, very light. It would fit in my bag. Now this G17 now, forget it. I'm not moving it around. It's too damn damn heavy, man. I don't have a spare power supply for it either, and I don't really feel like buying one. So I'm using it as a desktop replacement because I'm kind of quite strapped for space in the house as well. It suits the purpose well. And what I've got as my mobile machine is I've got a GPD Win Max 2, which is a 10-inch laptop, and that serves me really, really well, guys. Like, I'll probably at one point show my little mobile setup. I've actually got a 10-inch monitor as well, 10-inch laptop, 10-inch external monitor. So, you know, when my missus is sleeping, I don't have to disturb her now in the bedroom. I can just stream downstairs in the front room or on the kitchen table. I've got a full mobile streaming setup. So the 10-inch laptop is alright to take around, but before the 10-inch laptop, when I was using the G14, it was actually really good, because whatever I was working on, I just took the laptop with me and I just carried on working wherever I did. I mean, I'd even take it out like in winter, for example, where I can't take the kids to the park, right? I'll take them to like an indoor play center, you know, a place where they got like a massive slide that goes up 2 floors, and they've got like soft play there and all that stuff. And you know, my kids will be running wild there. I think you get an hour and a half when you pay admission in there, right? So for an hour and a half, I just take my laptop and it would work. And I'll tell you one really good thing about the Asus laptops that have AMD APUs in there, right? Wow, guys, the battery on these things is a beast. I've edited videos on the go. The batteries are amazing on these things, right? As long as you're not using the GPU when you're on the go, which you don't. I've set the profile set defaults to the integrated card. Guys, we're talking like I've got like 8 hours of Chrome browsing and like Word documents, you know, with light video editing. Video editing, you probably get 4 to 5 hours on a full charge out of it, but they're absolutely amazing. But yeah, you know, I would have never gone for a G17. The next one I was going to buy was going to be a G14 again. So I was going to buy a G14 with either like a 3070, 3080 or a 40, you know, maybe like a 4070 again, but I wouldn't have bought that for a few years. That 1660 Ti, even though it's a little bit slow on certain things, for doing retro stuff it was perfect. Like for streaming and the stuff that I do on it was fine. I'm not really playing new games, right? So the new games that I played, even so, they worked all right on it. Maybe I couldn't play Cyberpunk at the highest settings, which I can now, but I'm not playing that stuff. So, you know, I might have something really, really powerful, but honestly, I'm not using it. And the guy that I bought it off, he's a guy in his 60s. He only plays one damn game. It's called Deadside, right? I told him, I don't know why you're buying a new laptop every year. You are 100% like crazy nuts. I don't understand it, right? But you know, I don't know. I mean, it's become such an issue. He can't actually tell his missus about it, right? Because you know, his missus is like, you're wasting money. You're nuts, right? Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, long battery life is definitely a plus, and those Zephyrus machines are really, really good. It's just a shame. I really like the footprint that the Zephyrus G14 has, right? And I had the 2020 version. When you look at the 2024 version, I think it's even slimmer, and that damn thing's got a GPU in there, right? Okay, it's not going to be the same as, you're not going to get the same performance as the equivalent of a desktop GPU. For example, if I was to pick one up with, say, a 4070 now, right? A 4070 on a desktop with the same processor, or with the desktop processor, and yeah, being used on a desktop, it's going to be, the performance is going to be better. But guys, like, laptops have come a long way. Like, I've been using laptops for a number of years. In fact, I've given away my last gaming laptop, my gaming desktop, because my last one was, so I had a 1660 Super in there, GTX, but the processor in there was an Intel i3 3rd generation. It was like the K version that you could overclock. However, next year there's going to be no more support for it, and it's a 4-core 4-thread processor, right? So you get bottlenecked by it. So I've actually given it away to one of the guys that works in a restaurant near my work, because I get a lot of free food at work, man. I'm really friendly with like the restaurants in the local area. I literally go in there and they make me custom dishes, like, you know. So I've got like a Zzz's Italian restaurant near me. The guys are really, really good. I'm really enjoying just a margarita pizza with nothing but artichokes on there, obviously the cheese and the tomato as well. So, you know, he wanted the gaming PC. I was like, dude, just use it. So he's giving that a shot. But this is looking good. This is running good, right? This looks really, really well. I need to play. I've been recommended to playing Bonk 2, right? But I have not I've not really played that so much, but this is good, guys. Let's run another game, but this is looking really, really good. And there's no, the aspect ratio, everything is correct part of the screen's not cut out, and we haven't got any graphical glitches or anything like we did on some of the other games. So let's get back out. Let's go in here. Okay, and let's go back in here. Let me have a look at chat. Oh man, I really like them. So you know what it is on the pizzas, I really don't like overkill stuff. So if you end up putting lots and lots of ingredients on there, especially like with the two Italian pizzas. Now, some of you guys might think that what I'm saying is very inappropriate and incorrect, but I prefer like the chicken chop pizzas we get here in London. They're not exactly healthy Italian pizzas. I guess they're their own thing, right? But I like them with like pepperoni, pineapple, ground beef, jalapenos. They are absolutely banging to me. I absolutely love them, right? The ones I get at ZZ's, I get them because they're free, right? I get sorted out on those. I wasn't a big fan of them, so I tried the margarita just with artichokes on there, and you know what? It was the bomb. Absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it from start to finish, man. So yeah, I feel not enough people eat artichokes, man. It's especially when they think of pizzas and that, but I absolutely love them, man. And then I have a A8700K, right? So that is, sorry, an A8700K. That's Intel, right? Yeah, that is, isn't it? That's the 8th gen one. What are we on now? 13th or 14th generation? An RTX 3090, very, very nice. TI as well, wicked. That is banging. Is that a laptop or a desktop, dude? Will be my question. 32 gig. See, now I personally feel 32 gigs of RAM is minimum for any kind of new games out there. 16, I think, is showing its age now. Like 32 is minimum. I can imagine the next PC I'll get will have 64 gig of RAM, right? Because I think that's where I'm going to go. But I really don't want this guy to buy a new PC because the price that he offers me. So, all right, okay, this is what I could have done, right? The last laptop, this one that I'm using on today's stream with the 3070 that I paid $450 for, I could have sold this one to a friend of mine, right, for 500, right? Because you can't get this laptop for that price now. Even the 3070 one, you're talking like 700-800. Let's say, for example, I sold it to him for the price that I paid for this laptop, 450. Another £100, I've now upgraded it. Well, that's gone loud. Okay, guys, another error. You hear that? Sound issue here, right? Let me quickly get out of here. But let me see if it goes if we start the game. No, okay. Oh, okay, it's kind of gone. Right, I pressed start and it went. Again, we're fault finding here, right? So that's good. Oh, wicked, yeah, it is Intel. I did think, you know why I got a bit confused? Because I know the AMD ones, the latest ones are on the 8 number as well. So 8 whatever, right? So the one I'm getting in the laptop I picked up earlier today it's the 2023 version, so it's the 7 something, right? Can't remember exactly what it is. I know in my GPD win I've got an AMD 6800U, and on this one here I've got a 5800X. So yeah, man, like that. I mean the combination that you've got on your laptop is banging. Sorry, I don't know if you've answered it, but was that a desktop or was that a laptop? Because that I don't think that would be a laptop, right? That would be insane for it, man. Rebuilding, wicked. Yeah, you know what, Pete? If you Kato, if you go for PCs definitely cost money. That's why, because I'm more of a laptop guy at the moment, it's better for me in the space that I have to work. I couldn't turn down the offer that I got, man. And honestly, I really don't want this guy to buy another laptop, because if he buys another laptop, he'll just be, look, you know, Pixel, do you want to buy this laptop? And I'll look at it and it'll be like a third of the price, man, and I can't say no. So, oh, sorry, I was saying originally, so the laptop I'm using now with a 3070 I paid $450 for, right? So yeah, I could have sold this to a friend of mine who's after a laptop for his missus. You know, he would gladly pay $450 for it even now. To be honest, it's a great price, because let's say, for example, I was actually on the market for a laptop, then the kind of budget I'd have is, all right, I wouldn't go 1500 or anything. I'd be looking around $1,000, but what I'd be looking for is the best I can find. Like maybe I'll find if you sign up for Lenovo and their newsletter, right, you get 10% off the first time, so you can get 10% off Lenovo. But then I'll be looking for a day that they've got an offer on or something, so ultimately I'll end up getting something that's worth 1500, 1600 for like £1,000. You can buy at the right time, and I do find that with laptops in general, the pricing's actually been very decent for a lot of the times. Well, let's have a look. Okay, so what's this? Cosmic Unworked Designs. Okay, so this is a hack. Hacks aren't so great on this core at the moment, so I don't know how well they're going to work exactly. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Is it working? Okay, are we going with a black screen? Wicked. Yeah, if I had the space, guys, right, for a desktop, okay, that's not working, so let's exit this. If I had the space for a desktop here, I'd have one. My last desktop used to be in the front room, but if you can imagine, I've got 3 kids' laptops here, so I've got 2 desks. They're not eyesores, they're actually done quite well. If I was to have a CRT in my front room, now that would be an eyesore, and I don't want to annoy my missus too much, so I play on HDMI screens, right? But yeah, so there's 3 laptops down there, man. I've got to change the SSD. But the new one that I'm getting, it's got LEDs around the bottom half going around the laptop. So I have to be a bit careful when I'm opening it. So my cousin's really good at modding stuff. So I'm going to go around there tomorrow and he's going to open it for me. I can change the SSD, that's easy enough. But what I don't want to do is pull the cover off a little bit too much. You need to pull out 2 different things for LED. What did I actually load up? Oh, I probably loaded the same game, my bad. Talking and doing stuff, right? So let's go here, guys. Absolutely love the Analogue Pocket. It's becoming amazing. And you know what, guys, Shadow Dancer released for this yesterday, man. I played it a little bit to do a video, but I need to play it in handheld mode. I feel like I need to finish this on the Analogue Pocket. It's just something that I need to do, right? Let's see. Okay, well, I don't even know what this game is, guys. Download 2. Should just really try the popular ones to see if there's any issues with those. But guys, I'll tell you one thing though. When it comes to console gaming, I'm really not interested. When it comes to the PlayStation 5 now and the Xbox Series, absolutely zero interest in there. Like, if I'm not retro gaming, I don't mind playing stuff on the Switch. I like the Switch again because it is a handheld. Nice brain. But I'm really not interested in any of the consoles. I'm happy playing other stuff on like the PC. Yeah, that's and I'm looking forward to more powerful handheld PCs. I've already got too much tech. I'd get one. When I see people's collections, right, they've got, like, someone posted a picture on Reddit or Twitter saying I've got a problem. No lie, in this picture it had like maybe a couple of hundred of handhelds, right? Now when we're looking at these handhelds, if you've got, say for example, like a Game Boy Color, then you've got a Game Boy Advance, then you've got a DS, a 3DS, a 3DS XL. Okay, different kind of consoles, different purposes. You've got a 3DS and a 3DS XL, different sizes. You've got a PS Vita. Okay, but when you buy like 50 different Android handhelds, right, or you buy 20 different Linux handhelds, they're pretty much doing the same thing, right? I don't get that. So I like some of the Linux handhelds. The most recent one I bought was the Mio Mini Plus. I bought the one with that looked like a Saturn controller. So I've got those. So when I got those ones, I ended up giving some of the previous ones away. I've got an Android handheld as well, the AYN Odin Lite, and I really like that handheld. Not for retro gaming because there's too much input lag on Android. For native Android ports, man, Streets of Rage 4 is decent on there, even though I don't play it on there. I did buy it. Castlevania Symphony of Night is wicked on there, man. That's what I'm playing it on. I'm playing it on Android at the moment, on an Android handheld, and it feels good. And same here, PS5. Yeah, do you know what? They eventually do come out, and I'm playing them, man. Like Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. And Alan, I don't know if you know, right? But you know Steam, if you sign up for their family sharing beta, right? Dude, it's amazing, right? Previously, if I shared games with my kids, I couldn't be on Steam. As soon as I went onto Steam and I launched any game, it would kick them out. Well, now, as long as they're, like, let's say my son's playing Spider-Man, cool. I can play any other game in my catalog. It's only if I play Spider-Man, it will kick him out, right? So it's very, very interesting. It's almost like you're letting someone borrow a game out of your collection. So I can play, let's say, Monster Hunter World. I can play Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. He can play Spider-Man. So trust me, that saved me a lot of money with buying them games. And you know, it's really funny, right? I said to my youngest kid, right, you can either have Steam Deck that you've already got, or you can submit your Steam Deck and I'll get you a laptop. And I was hoping he'd say laptop. That looks like Clark Kent, guys. And I was hoping he said laptop, right? And he goes, Dad, has the laptop got RTX? And I was like, what do you know about RTX? He goes, it makes the picture look better. So I think he wants to play Minecraft with RTX on. So he's going to get a 3060, my daughter's old one. Daughter 3070 with double the RAM, and me, obviously, the 4070. Right. Is this a Superman damn game? Look, Hyper New Station. Is he gonna... I kind of want to skip this part. I want to see if he turns into a superhero. Clearly not, no. Just picked up. Oh, and oh man, do you know what? It is wicked, Kato. I absolutely love it. And you know what? There's an alternative store out there. It's amazing. It's amazing. The alternative store out there, it's got everything the 3DS has on there, including all the virtual console games, right? It is amazing, right? You can get everything on there. There's a whole bunch of homebrew stuff on there. Now there's a way that you can stream it to your PC, so you can actually play it more like a Nintendo Switch. So yeah man, it's wicked. The new 3DS is amazing. I like the original 3DSs. I had those, but what happened with the original 3DSs, right? What happened with the original 3DS is I never played them in 3D. It was so terrible. You had to look at it without moving your hands. As soon as you moved a little bit left and right, it went out of focus, and you know, you see two visions. The new 3DS is amazing, guys. Like the 3D, you can move it around. Oh man, it is such a great console, man. I've got two new 3DSs actually, because my kids, they just completely stopped playing with them. I'll put them aside for them. When they grow up and they get a bit of nostalgia, I'll give it back to them, right? When, you know, when I'm like, I don't know, in my 50s or something, and they're in their 20s or 30s, or when I'm in my 60s or whatever, I'll be like, here you go, son or daughter, this is what you used to play when you were younger, and maybe they'll get that nostalgia kick out of it, man. Wow. So yeah man, it is wicked. I have the new 3DS. Yeah man, it has to be hacked, right? Hack it straight, and it's very easy now. Before, when I hacked mine, you had to make a purchase on the eShop, then you had to go back and forth and do it. There's a written guide, I think it's called 3dshacks.com or something. Go on that, because the hacks get updated every so often. So yeah, the hacks on the 3DS are they're amazing, and the new 3DS it's really good. Do you know what's really good as well? Play the Sega Classics on. Oh wow, I'm actually controlling this ship. Play the Sega Classics, right? Play Streets of Rage 2, wicked. Play, what else is there? I think Afterburner's there, Outrun's there, Fantasy Zone is there, Revenge of Shinobi's there. Guys, they look fantastic in 3D, man. They look really good. I think there's a way of playing it on the Meta Quest as well. The 3D emulator isn't very good, right? It's glitchy on the Meta Quest, but it does play the Sega Classics well, because I guess they're not really pushing the 3DS system. I've tried playing that. Is it Xenoblade Chronicles? My friend says it's really good. Can never get into that game, and I tried getting into it originally on the Wii. Then when it came out for the 3DS, I pre-ordered it. I remember I was on holiday and I was like, oh man, I hope it gets delivered, because I'm not going to know if it doesn't, right? And it got delivered while I was on holiday. I tried it out, man, but I can't get on with it. I even tried Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I just ended up getting lost on it on like the Switch. Okay, so the intro for that lasted a lot longer, but this core on the whole it's very good. There was some there's some graphical imperfections in some games. The sound went in something, but overall the experience is good, right? The experience is good. Now I'm not paying attention to. So for example, like if I'm running this folder, I know, because I've chosen games that are less than 27 files, right? This one here, this is just a collection that was archived on the internet somewhere, and I grabbed it. Oh, what's this? XL2. Okay, so these are all right. Let's see if this hack works. Hacks don't really work on this core. Yeah, so oh okay, we've got something running. So yeah, this version here it's probably going to have some with like 50 files in there and whatnot. So but again, interesting to see what happens, what works. And I'm really looking forward to the update and the requirement for corresponding JSON files to be present, you know, in order for the games to work. So again, really like the system. I can't believe we've got this stuff on the Analogue Pocket. I mean, the Analogue Pocket, it is the ultimate hybrid FPGA console, right? Play it on the go, play it in bed. I could just carry on, take it out now, go in the front room, chill with the family, and bloody carry on playing this, man. The technology behind it amazes me. I mean, I can't believe Shadow Dancer's on there. I might play that later if I'm not too lost in Castlevania or bloody setting up my new laptop. Oh, has this crashed? No, okay. Okay. I have no idea what we're going to get into. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, you switched. See, I've been using pup data for a long time now, so I've definitely used all of them, right? I used I'm not going to read this, so hopefully we can walk around and do something, right? So I initially used Retro Driven's Pocket Updater. Big shout out to you, Retro Driven. I hope you're doing well, bud. I then tried all the different ones. I used Pocket Sync for a while, but most recently I've been using Pupdata, which is Matt Pinella's one, and that one's just it's just simple. I like it. It's got it just works, and I guess I'm more used to that one, so I end up using that one. But as far as I can tell, there's no issues with using any of them. They actually use all the same backend, so all the ROMs that you're getting, they're all coming from the same place. I think it's Retro Driven that's kind of responsible for them, but obviously Matt Pinella and Neil Morrison, they all have access to the stuff there. So but it's amazing, man. The updater guys are just fantastic, man. They're really nice guys, and a lot of the work that they do. So yesterday when Hotego released Sega System 18 and the Namco games, I was actually busy. I had a few errands to run, so I wasn't kind of free until 6-7 in the afternoon. That's when I started doing my video for that Hotego news special, right, and started filming Shadow Dancer, Block Seed, Bravo Man, and all of that. And I thought, you know what, usually when a post comes out, all right, let's go out of this. When a post comes out, I generate the ROMs straight away myself, but in this case, right, I thought, let me run the updater, right, and what was that? It was like maybe 5 or 6 hours after the post was released, and the ROMs were there, man. It grabbed every single one for me, and I played them, and that's I love the work. I love the work the updater team do, man. Very good guys, man. Very good guys. Let's go Forgotten Worlds. I really did like that game, but I used to play, I think I played it on the Commodore 64, right? And I really liked the game, you know. I like the cover artwork on it. The guys looked really cool. When I look at it now, don't know, the coolness hasn't carried across that well, right? Wow, okay. Oh wow, this one's bugged, right? Look at this. Okay, so we found another one. Oh, what, she's giving us a message there. Oh, maybe I need to change something. What's she saying there? This disc only works on Super CD2 system, right? So let's go in core settings. Have we got anything here for arcade? Okay, let's go arcade system. Let's turn that on. Let's see if anything works out there. Yeah, artwork throughout, though I haven't really messed around with that for a long time. The artwork on there. No, actually, I think I messed with it recently when I was doing that tutorial video, the most recent one. So yeah, let's have a look. Okay, extra sprites. Okay, so the reason arcade system. No. Okay, let's go back out. Right. Okay, so there's not much there. Right. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I ever got this working or not. I can't actually remember playing it on here. So let's go back out. Oops. Right, let's do this. All right. Well, we can forget about Forgotten. Well, let's do Street Fighter 1, man. I hate Street Fighter 1, but I like Street Fighter 1. To be honest, it's got all the different BIOS versions on there. It's got all of them in there. So I don't know if it auto selects it or do whatever. I don't know. I don't think I can change it without messing about with some stuff. I don't think there's stuff that in the menu that kind of lets me do it. But yeah, that's yeah. I guess that is what it is. Right, one player. Let's do this. Oh yeah, we jamming. I love the sound for this, man. Actually, the sound level's okay. Okay, I'm literally mashing buttons here because there's no logic to doing, you can't just do quarter circle and it will come out. You need to mash it. Wow, look at that. That's when the dragon punch. That's the dragon punch that gave Sagat a scar on his damn chest, man. Awesome. This is so terrible. Guys, if you want to play a good version of this, right? There's a Mugen version of this. It's got supers, it's got eyes, just wicked. It is actually a proper playable game, like 1,000,000 times better than this, and it is well worth playing, right? Now, I know people don't take Mugen seriously. There's a different engine out as well called Ikemen or something. They've made that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Justice League, right? And guys, that is a wicked game. That's one that's well worth checking out. But they've got a version of Street Fighter 1, and guys, it is so good. I've actually got a video on the channel where I have a look at it, right, and I play it, and guys, completely blown away by it. It's amazing. It plays really, really well. Now, I don't know how well it plays if you're playing against another human, right? But playing it, playing it by yourself against a CPU, it's a lot of fun. And I often play them on my handheld PCs. But the only handheld PC I've got with a good D-pad now, right? Hold on.
Don't forget the
Oh man, I absolutely love that speech, man. I used to love that in the game. Let's whack something else on. Yeah, so the only good handheld PC I've got with a good D-pad, right, is the GPD WinMax 2. But to be honest, it's a little bit, it's not very practical to play in handheld mode, right? I have streamed off it in bed sometimes, but it is quite a big machine. It's like, imagine you've got, you know, like, what, a 10-inch iPad screen in landscape mode, right? And then you've got your laptop at the bottom, right, and the screen on top. So it is big. It's an absolute delight looking at that screen. It's a big ass screen, man. But yeah, it's not, I don't really use it for gaming. Let's have a look at what we got. Well, okay, so that's the Mahjong game. Okay, what's this game? Never heard of it. Let's see what this is. A game called Genocide. Digital Street Fighter cabinet had big rubber. Yes, so you had the... See, I don't think... I might have seen it. I don't think I played that version. And I played it with the normal buttons, right? With 6 buttons in the arcade. That's what we had in my local, in the chip shop where I used to play it. Phil's Chip Shop on Hanley Road, man. What's really funny, right? There was a guy called Phil. It was his chip shop. And I saw him years and years later. And funnily enough, he was working as... like a photo, you know, conventional films before we got digital one. We used to get that film we used to put in the cameras. He was working as a photo developer at Boots. So I saw him after years, man. I actually got his number as well, but I never bothered. I don't know how I was going to call him. We weren't really buddies, man. I mean, you know, we played arcade games in his chip shop. So that's as far as our friendship went. So he was a good guy though, man. Always liked the guy. Come on, let me start. I'm mashing the buttons here, but it wants me to watch this. Come on. Pretty cool. These intros are pretty cool. What else was there? Oh, one of the games that came out for the Mr. Analogue Pocket this weekend, right, was Bravo Man. And that one had the pressure buttons like Street Fighter. So what Hatego and team have done, the way they've implemented the controls now, it's got 6 controls. It's really weird. I don't actually like it. I can't get used to it. I played it on the PC Engine where it just had 2 buttons, right? So you've got 3 attack buttons, which is, imagine like the housing, like short, medium, and long, right? And you've got 3 jump buttons, which is like a tiny hop, a normal jump, and then a super jump. But it's very, very weird. It's very, very weird. It's alien, right? It's something that I have to specifically get used to. I mean, it's a valiant attempt from Hatego and team to kind of implement the different pressure sensitive controls and using 6 buttons to do it, but I kind of prefer the PC Engine version. Okay, what the hell is this, man? Okay. Do you know what, guys? This is one of the things I like about this stream. We've played so many of these whack games, man. Nah, this game is whack. Imagine, like, so guys, any of you guys out there, right? So I'm bang on in my mid-40s now, right? So you must have experienced this as well, right? So you know when you were playing import games, where you had the ability to play import games, where you bought an import console, right? And you know, information wasn't always there, right? So when you're picking games, sometimes you would pick a game based on the cover because the cover looked cool. You look at the screenshots and you're like, wow, this game looks wicked. And you end up buying a game, and everyone, right? Everyone must have, wow, man, you're like a decade older than me, dude. But you know what? No harm in that. You would have been around playing some of the games that I never really played, only saw in the arcade. I would have been bored when you were playing that stuff. It's just I would have been a kid not allowed to play them, right? But Alan, right? Tell me this, or anyone else out there. Wow, we got Kate. Kato's a young one, bruv. You're a young guy. I'm 46. I'm exactly 10 years younger than Alan. So, guys, here's the mad thing, right? So you would go to an import shop, and the games were expensive, right? So you're talking, you know, you're spending 50, 60 pounds. and you're looking at the games, and you're basing your decision on the cover and the screenshots, right? And sometimes you hit the jackpot, right? Like with Sun 2, Jackie Chan, PC Kid. These are all games that are picked by looking at the cover, right? And then sometimes you pick something like this, and not that this might not be the worst game out there, but it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel fluid. Maybe there's a way of playing it and I'm doing everything completely wrong, right? It just don't feel right. And who remembers that time where you bought a game and you were gutted because you spent a whole bunch of money on there, you can't get another game for a while, and the game just ended up being whack? So we all kind of had that, man. PC Engine was wicked though, man. Absolutely wicked console. Just love it. I mean, the CD I never had, so I can't, you know, apart from games that were out for the PC Engine or were out for something else, and we're kind of checking those out. Right, that there, guys, I picked that last time. That is adult content, man. I actually meant to delete that, but I'm so lazy I never get around to it. But what we will have a look at, let's have a look at is that okay? Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so that was on a live stream. That was actually quite funny, right? PC Engine Falcom games are incredible. Is that the exact title? Is that on PC? We're doing so, James Sun, we're doing PC Engine CD. We're testing the core. If that's a PC Engine CD game, we can have a look at that. Okay, sounds like this is going to be fun. No, they blew up my planet. Vader. Who remembers that in Star Wars, man? That was epic, man, where they blow up Leia's home planet, right? Amazing stuff. Can never get bored of that original trilogy, right? Like that is Star Wars, right? Okay, I haven't actually got what if I turned on? I thought I did. Never mind. Let's actually try it off fire. One sec. Let's go to the menu, core settings. Let's see how easy it is just to do it, right? So let's put turbo. I'm hoping it's the button above. Okay, and hopefully it should just be that easy now, right? Oh, here we go. Look at that. We are turboing. I'm still dying. Do you like shmups? Yeah, I've got no shame, man. I'll use I'll definitely without a doubt use okay, use auto fire on there, man. It just has to be done. Okay, I was trying something there. So the right shot has got priority over the left one, right? Oh, that's like a shotgun, right? Spread, but it doesn't have the range. It doesn't have the range. Do you know, I think I'm pretty sure I played this game in the arcade, man. I just recall it. They look so much better on CRT though, right? I mean, I can put the effects on, which I'm quite happy looking at effects, right? But yeah, they just don't come across good in videos. So like I always say, for anyone looking to get into streaming and making videos, just run the games vanilla, guys. Run them vanilla. Don't use any effects. People use lots and lots of different screens. From what I've found, the smaller the screen is, the worse they look. If you look at them on a large TV, you're kind of good, right? Okay, that game was interesting. Yeah, man, you do that, don't you, Kato? You buy games and yeah, man, you end up getting some duds, man, and that was the worst, right? I mean, as a kid, you get that feeling, right? You get that feeling in your chest, in your stomach, right, where you've just bought a lump of crap and you're stuck with it, right? And there was no refund, no policy. At a certain point, some shops didn't even do trade-ins, but then you had to do trade-ins and you had to lose a whole bunch of money, man. I mean, that just wasn't good, right? What was the game? PC Engine Falcom, right? Falcom. So let's go down to F. I don't think. No, that's not. Okay, that's not here. I did have a look though, right? Okay, so okay, it came from the Image Fight 2. Or it came. I'm a little bit curious about it came from the desert. So let's check that out, right? I think there's like some strategy elements in there. So let's have a look. Hopefully we can have a look at some stuff. I remember like a nurse in here. Is there a hot nurse in here? I can't fully remember. Yeah, there was always whack games. C64 had a lot of whack games. It did have some good games on it as well, though. And guys, right, so in regard to the Commodore 64, I did mention it in the weekly news video, right? So Marcus Triple Z, who's working on it, he's got his own software emulator. He's made a wrap of that software emulator as an FPGA core for the Analogue Pocket. He's actually looking for people to help with debugging and to help him with the core development, right? So, you know, if you're a Commodore 64 enthusiast, especially if you've got original hardware, if you want to get involved or you can help, Marcus Triple Z, he's available on my Discord. You can also reach him on the FPGA Gaming Discord. And a big shout out to the FPGA Gaming Discord, guys. That is the best place to go for the Analogue Pocket. I'll always encourage people to join my Discord, but you know, the FPGA Gaming Discord is the best place to be for the Analogue Pocket. It's got all the developers on there. It's got all the best people for support. It is amazing. If you're stuck on something or you need a hand, it's a very, very friendly community, and people like literally go out of their way to help, man. I mean, it's very, very good. If you want a community to hang out in and you want to feel like you belong, the FPGA Gaming Discord, it's amazing. There's a few places I hang out. The other one that I like the Mr. Discord, mainly for Mr. stuff. They do other stuff on there as well, but they specialize in Mr. stuff, right? Really, really good places to hang around with. Yeah, oh man, yeah, I love my Commodore 64. Guys, I've got a really, really sad story, man. So, if anyone watched any of the previous streams, I've mentioned the story of how I got my Commodore 64, right? There was a guy who lived at the end of my road on the flats. His name was Martin, right? And they used to call him Tifos because he had bent teeth and he was just known to be a thief, right? He stole lots of stuff. So one day I was playing outside, as you did back then on the street. It was a community. Everyone knew everyone. So we used to play outside in the front garden, used to play with like the kid next door. So Tifos came with a whole bunch of guys, right? So we're talking like troublemakers, gangsters, whatever you want to call them, right? But no good characters. But Tifos had a Commodore 64. And I begged my mum. I bought it off him for £60, and that's how I got my Commodore 64. Now I was friends with Tifos's younger brother, right? Like good friends. It wasn't my closest friend, but it's someone that I hung out with. And guys, you know, I was really sad. So yesterday, around the time Hotego released his JT Friday post, right, I had to go out, right, and when I went out to, there's an area near me called like Wood Green and Turnpike Lane, and when I went there, I saw Tifos's younger brother, man, and the guy was begging. He was begging. I haven't seen this guy now for a minimum 20 years, maybe more, maybe 25 years, right? I didn't see him, and dude, it was so sad to see it. So I spoke to him. I knew his full name. I said his full name there, and I was like, yo, dude. And he knew my full name, not even my nickname that everyone knows me by. He knew my full name because he knew me as a kid, right? And I said, what happened? And he, you know, told me, blah, 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 this happened. More than likely, it was substance abuse, right? Because when we were young, we messed around, and he was known to kind of do that stuff, and his family and whatnot, right? Okay, wow, this is a completely different game from what I remember. And yeah, it was there. So look, I generally, you know what, when like, so like a lot of beggars you get, and I know people can be down and everything, but I know a lot of the ones that I see, they're as soon as you give them money, it's gonna go to their drug dealer. So what I generally do is, if I'm not saying that I'll give a lot or anything like that, but what I'll do is, if someone says to me like, oh, I need money and yada yada, a lot of times I won't, because there's quite a lot of that in London now, and I can't afford to give to everyone, right? So what I will do sometimes, I'll go, okay, no problem, look, I will buy you some food. So I'll go into a shop and I'll buy like a sandwich, or I'll buy something, and I'll go, here you go, eat that. Sometimes it's accepted, sometimes it's not, because they want to use that money to get high, right? But in the event of my friend that I saw, a childhood friend, man, and you're seeing the guy sitting down begging, and I felt proper bad, like really, really bad. Like, you know, it's someone that I know. It's someone that I know. This is where they are now. This is what they've been reduced to. So I gave him all the money I had in my wallet at the time, and that wasn't. And I said to him, look, I've got to go somewhere. I can't be late. But if you're here when I come back, like, I'd love to have a chat with you. And I actually ended up being late for what I was supposed to go to, because I spoke to him for like maybe 3 minutes, but I was in a rush. And I said, look, I will come back here, but I probably feared that the money I gave him, he used it to get whatever substance or anything that he wanted. And even though I knew that, he was a friend of mine, man. He was a friend. This is someone that I hung out with, right? This is someone that I hung out with a kid. I still remember when this guy lost his virginity to a girl that lived like Well, he lost it way before me, right? But it was a girl that lived, I don't know, like maybe 200 yards away. And we knew her, and he told me like it was amazing and told me everything about it, right? But it's when we were young, like maybe 15 or something, right? And, you know, so we hung out. I always liked the guy. His older brother sold me the Commodore 64. Not something I would buy now, but at the time, man, it was dandy. Wherever it came from, I didn't care. I got Commodore 64 for cheap. You know, I asked him how his mum was. He said his mum's not well. She's in and out of hospital. And it was just really, really sad, man. Like, really, really sad. Like, that's all I can say. But you know what? Let's move on, man, because, you know what? Thinking about that even... like yesterday, like and seeing him like that, man, it was sad. Right, let's try and play a happy game now. But you know what, I tell you what, such is life, right? You know, when you're kids, and I look at my kids now and I think, wow, you're cool, like there's no responsibility, you're not worried about anything, and that's amazing, right? It's amazing. And when you grow older and you kind of look back in hindsight and you think, wow, man, like times were good, things were good, right? You know, life was good. There wasn't any responsibility, and standard of living was good as well, right? Like in the UK, I don't really like getting political or anything on my channel, but standards are crap here, right? Everything has gone up. Like food has almost doubled and everything, right? I mean, I got a good pay rise this year in my job. I might have missed the promotion, but I got like an 8% pay rise. But even though that's quite a healthy pay rise that I got this year, it doesn't actually compensate for all the extras that we're paying on everything. Now, you know, I'm grateful for my work actually giving me that, because my usual standard was around 3% a year, but this year we got a massive bump. So yeah, man, it's just mad. It's mad how, you know, when you're growing around and you're playing as kids and you're messing around, you can never imagine what your future's going to be or how some people are going to be. You know, I've got some friends that are very, very successful. One of the guys I went to school with, he got A stars. He's actually like a top banker for the World Bank. Moved to the USA years ago. I've got friends that are very, very successful as well, right? It's not just the downside of that, but obviously the ones that do well, you wish them well. You see them every so often, and the ones that don't, you kind of feel for. Right, what's it? Okay, let's load something else up. So I've got one friend, right? The guy is amazing, right? Guy's got a photographic memory. He kind of got involved in this business around 20 years ago, right? He was working as an IT consultant for them. So this company couldn't actually afford to pay him. So he said to the company, look, I'm either going to take you to court because you guys can't pay me, and you know, likely you're going to go bankrupt, right? But he goes, look, I'll take care of all your IT stuff, right? But I want a percentage of your company. And I think he negotiated becoming like 1/3 a partner in this private company at the time. And it's because he saw a lot of potential in there, right? He saw a hell of a lot of potential. And he was right about that, right? Within a few years, he was making hundreds of thousands a year, like money out of this. You know, he bought his parents' house. He bought himself a massive house. So when we were single, when we were first married, right, I kind of remember because he used to say to me, look, dude, like for example, we would go out for a meal, right? Okay, this is skipping later. Let's go earlier on, right? So let's say I'm first married now. I've got one child at the time, maybe no child. So he would be like, let's go. And yo, Retro Tuner, how you doing, buddy? Wicked, man, wicked. Yeah, so he would say to me, look, so we used to play Street Fighter 3 Third Strike a lot. It's how I met the guy on that game, right? So we used to play it a lot. We had a friend, one of the best players ever, right? But he's from Hong Kong. He was a student, so he moved back there. He said, look, let's go and see this guy, right? And I was like, look, dude, I can't really justify spending the money on there. But he would say to me, look, dude, I will pay for you, right? I will pay for you to go to Hong Kong. Come with me, let's go. And I was like, dude, as much as I appreciate, and I know you've got the money and I like the gesture, but as a man, I would not feel comfortable with anyone else paying for me. So I can't go there because I'm living beyond my means. But this is the friend that I've got. So there was, so if everyone is familiar with a tournament called Evolution, right, which is the biggest fighting games tournament in the world, before there was a tournament called Super Battle Opera. So anyone that's hardcore into fighting games will know it, right? It wasn't the biggest tournament, but it was the most prestigious. So my friend actually went there, and what was amazing about it, by this time my wife knew his wife, we're both married, we got a kid or two, and he asked me, look, do you want to come? And I was like, no, dude, I'm good, like I'm not gonna go there, right? So him and a few other friends of mine went there. They competed in Super Battle Opera, the most prestigious tournament you can go to, right? And what was amazing, obviously I told my wife that he's gone there to play Street Fighter. My wife is on the phone to his wife, and she asks, you know, how's your husband doing? Oh, she goes, oh, he's gone to Japan on a work trip, right? So he didn't even tell his wife he was going there to play Street Fighter. It was a holiday. He went there to play Street Fighter. He ate sushi. He chilled, ate good food, and yeah, that's what the guy had done, right? And that was absolutely amazing. So when we used to go out, right? Let's say we went out for a family meal, right? So he would pay. I'm like, okay, so the first time we went out, he paid. Second time I'm in there, okay, is this... Wow, okay, I'm kind of getting SNK vibes here, right? So the guy would actually pay for the meal, right? So the next time I'd be like, dude, let me pay for the meal. And he goes, look, I'm going to pay for it. And I said, look, dude, you can't do that. Like I said, I know you're significantly better off than I am, but you're my friend. I want to pay. It's not too much of a dig. I'll pay for this, right? So he said to me, look, no problem, I get it. You can go and pay, but he goes, I just want to point something out to you. He goes, every time I'm paying for a meal, I'm running it on my company credit card. He goes, I then declare it to my account and everything. He goes, in the end, I reclaim tax for it. And he goes, so the government are paying for the meals. But he goes, when you pay the meal, you're paying it out of wages that you've paid tax on. You're paying it out of your net wages. And he goes, whereas I'm making the government to pay for it. And after that day, I said to him, you know what, dude, we're good, man. And when anytime we go out, I'm never gonna, if you're offered to pay, I'm never gonna contest it again. And since that day, I mean, we don't go out so much anymore. He's got like 4 boys. I've got 3 kids. We're busy. We see each other once a year. I mean, that's good, right? The earlier days are gone. More responsibility, finding less and less time. But what an awesome guy. That very, 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 very good guy. Very, very good with IT as well. Like a photographic memory. You can call the guy and ask him for help, and the guy will help you. He'll tell you, look at this, look at that. I'm looking at the damn screen in front of me, and I can't see I can't see the option in front of me, and he's telling me 3rd column, 2nd row, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can find it over there. Okay, this is interesting, right? Wonder if this is a spin on like the Sam Show game or something, because it's got Jubei in there, right? You often found that some of these games like ripped off some of the characters or whatnot. So this isn't. It's not the best fighter I've played, but I've definitely played worse ones on this. I think I was playing one the other day on the Super Nintendo, like a Street Fighter Alpha, not Alpha 2, like Alpha 1, or just a bootleg where it had like all zombie characters of the game on the character select screen. But when you picked them, they looked exactly the same as the other ones. Now, this isn't a great game, but it's an alright game. And also, guys, Retro Tuner as well. He's a friend of mine. He's got a channel. He's actually very, very good at games. He streams often, and he streams while playing on an arcade setup. That's I so very much like, man. So absolutely amazing. Let's get another game again. Japan Rocks. Oh, I would love to go, man. I just can't see myself doing it now, right? Since it would have been something to do before I was married or early marriage days. But like, for example, if I had to do that, I would feel guilty. I'd be like, I can go on a family holiday. I can pay for my wife to, go and see members of a family around the world. So I think once you get married, you're likely to spend less on yourself. At least I do. The only thing that I do is I go on... I like some of my tech stuff, and I have to. Yeah, no worries, Retro Tuner, man. I always try and drop in as well when you're streaming. Yeah, you always end up doing stuff for your family, right? Family kind of comes first, right? Oh, I remember Lords of Thunder. I remember this game kind of being all right, or one of the big names on here. Something that people always kind of asked about. But I hope everyone is having a good Saturday wherever you are in the world. What am I going to do tonight? Shall I play No, I'm going to have to do some work on that laptop. Actually, I'm hoping, because usually when I create a partition in a laptop, I do it when I'm installing Windows Fresh on this. I delete all the drives. I create like a 300 gig partition for a C drive. And if it's a 1 terabyte drive, a 700 gig partition for data. And then I'm going to add the other, 2 terabyte drive. So can't remember if I can. Hopefully I can do it without, because I've reset the PC. Hopefully I can do it without doing like a fresh install. I'm pretty sure there will be a way. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear you got sick. Are you still sick, Alan, or is that something that you've overcome? New York, Queens. All right, man. New York. Wicked. Yeah, Kato. Yeah, sorry, I just saw that. Don't get me started about. But I just think the world's just come to a way where everything is just about delivering to shareholders now. Whatever the company I work for, it's all about getting that bottom line to shareholders. That is all it is. Public companies get privatized. I mean, in the UK now, the water scandal is literally shit. It is literally poop, guys. Right? They years and years ago, they privatized the water companies. They made mass profits on water. I'm all down for people making a profit, but things that you need to depend on to live, right? Like your utilities, right? Like your gas for heating, right? Your water, your electricity, right? They should not be profit-making organizations. They should only, I mean, people should get a decent wage there, but we're not talking, you know, pay someone millions and millions in bonuses for sacking their staff, hiking the prices up, just ripping people, right? I mean, I completely hate that stuff, man. And that's unfortunate. That's the country that we live in now. Guys, I'm telling you one thing now. When I was 18, 19, 20, right, you could be in McDonald's flipping burgers, right, and you'd be able to get a mortgage and you'd be able to get a house, right? Now, if you're a McDonald's worker, right, and this is no criticism to McDonald's workers, those people work damn hard, man. But if you're a McDonald's worker or someone that has a job that's similar to that, if you go and ask for a mortgage, you can hardly rent a place, man. You forget a mortgage or anything like that. They're going to laugh you out of the bank. And it's just really, really sad how everything's become. So at least here in the UK, it's at the kind of stage where it's just, you know, it's like, okay, let's take everything we can. Let's privatize everything. Let's deliver everything to our shareholders. Let's give them dividends. And let's just shaft everyone out there. And yeah, that's the state of play over here. But I think it's like that around the world as well, guys. Yeah, absolutely, man. Costs are just absolutely just mad here. I mean, like, for example, like Marks and Spencer's, right? I used to go in there and buy biscuits, right? So these cookies, they were like £1.50, or they were £2, I think, and they'd have like 10 in there. And they were decent tasting cookies, right? Or you'd get 2 for £3. All right, £1.50 a box. Now the same cookies are £3.50 for 10. Like, it's insane. Like, I go out there, and like I'm the guy that's always looking for bargains now, right? You know, when it comes to shopping, I'm a Lidl guy, man. I'll go there straight after night shift, military precision. I'm there 7:10 when it's quiet. I'll get like a fruit box from there. I'll do all my shopping, bang, 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 bang. All the shopping that takes time, that has to be done by my wife and my daughter. Like I don't go shopping with my wife anymore. Like, I've told her, you're cool. Our daughter's old enough, go shopping. So they went shopping today to buy clothes for the boys and everything, and they spent 5 hours doing the shopping. My boys were downstairs playing. I was actually doing the Saturday news videos, just so you guys now know, sorry, not including research and any notes and stuff that I take during the week. The video took me 5 hours to do today, the Saturday news video, right? It's very, very time consuming. I like doing it, and it's something that I'm hoping the channel grows, and FPGA gaming looks like it's going to grow more, right? Because we've got a Tacky clone coming, and I really feel like that's going to bring a lot of people over to FPGA gaming, and with FPGA gaming, it's going to bring a lot of people over to my channel. So myself and Video Game Esoterica should get a really nice boost, as well as Lou's Retro Source, Nico Clem, Retro Tuner, Phil as well. A lot of people that do the retro stuff, but I can imagine, you know, with the lengths that myself and Video Game Esoterica go to cover stuff, we definitely should be getting a boost as well. Lou does great content as well, but I think Lou does like usually one video a week. Occasionally you might get an extra video on there, but Lou's definitely a case of quality over quantity, right? Whereas I'm definitely quantity over quality. Like, you know, I see other videos out there and I'll see people just speaking better than me, production, everything better than me. I know I've got my crowd and certain people like it, but you know, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna push a false narrative and go, my production value and the way I introduce and do stuff is amazing. A lot of times, right, I do videos where I finish night shift and I'm telling you, I am like a brain dead zombie. I read stuff and I know I'll make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes I even edit out the mistakes. But yeah, FPGA gaming it's growing, man. I mean, I'm really hyped about the next generation of the consoles. You know, whether it's the Replay 2, or you know, even Mars at this time, if they end up delivering and make something good, then you know what, all dandy. But you know, if I had to, like, I'm not a betting person, right? I'm absolutely against gambling. It's not something that I do. But if someone put a gun to my head and said, you know what, you've got to put a bet on which one you think is going to do better, I would say the Replay 2 is what I'm going to bet on, because it's open source. It's using the next generation of the Cyclone, right? Or it's still via Intel. it's open source is in nature. I know they're working on stuff in the background, and I'm sure there's some cutting edge cores. It's just they're not really going to say at the moment because they're into actions louder than words. But I'm sure other developers will go in there when they realize, you know what, this has the potential for me bringing over something that I really like. And someone actually said in the comments in today's news video that we need more content out there educating people on how to make cores. That was a very, very good suggestion. I really hope, I really hope, I don't know what this game is, but we'll try. I really hope, you know, there's more content out there that teaches people how to get it, because like we've got really good new developers on the Analogue Pocket now. So for example, like a new developer that came out and he's developed something for the Mr. and the Analogue Pocket, and that is Salal Retro Gaming. Really nice guy, like seriously nice guy. I speak to a lot of developers, like I speak to a lot of them via Discord, and some people are just very friendly. And Salal Retro Gaming, he's been a gem ever since I first came in contact with him. So he's someone that's new on the scene. He's brought over Toki for the Mister, then he's converted that over to the Analogue Pocket, and that's amazing, right? As well as that, oh okay, so looks like it's a warning here. As well as that, we've got people porting stuff over, right? So we've got Obsidian.dev, who's bringing over some really nice cores. Latest work being Gauntlet, that's a work in progress, but Defender, Robotron. Now the games that Obsidian.dev brings out, they're not really my cup of tea, right? They are before my time. However, I really do appreciate his work. I appreciate the fact that he's bringing this stuff over. Oh, Prince of Persia, he's bringing this stuff over to the Analogue Pocket, so it's just increasing the amount of games we've got on there, right? We've got a whole bunch of arcade games, and I'm an arcade guy. I like my computer and console stuff, but arcades is where it is. It's what I didn't have as a kid. I love having them now, right? We've got Roland King that brought us like Jailbreak, and what's the other game? I think, was it Athena that they brought us? That was that, again, they're porting stuff over, but it's nice to get that. But it will be nice to get original developers, right? You know, people that are bringing original cores out. And I really hope with this next generation, it does bring a next generation of developers over as well. Oh, thank you, man. No, I appreciate that, Alan. I do appreciate that. There's always room for improvement, though, man. And I'll be the first to say that. I'll be, yep, Kato replay too. I mean, hopefully, I'm in constant talk with the team, right? So I speak to them. So hopefully, when the first batch of boards comes out there, I'll be able to get a board to okay, that's the jump button. I'm trying to figure out what's the walk slow button. Hopefully I'll be able to, to be honest, I should be getting one, you know, when it's available, so I can show cores running on there, because you know what, I don't want to shield that project. I believe in it, and that's my personal stuff, and that's why most recently I've been putting this, I've been reading out disclaimers on all upcoming projects, just saying, look guys, you know, keep expectations in check. You know, it may or may not come out, right? We don't know. So I'm kind of saying that on there, right? But like the thing about the Replay 2 guys, the guys they're just really nice. If anyone ever wants like an invite to their Discord, go on there, man. The guys, they're just really nice people, right? And I'm one of those that if you're a nice person, honestly, whether your project does good or does bad, I'm on board with you, man. I'll help wherever I can. And they are just really nice people, man. Like seriously nice people, all of them. And just being nice goes a long way. There's a lot of developers that I speak to, they're just very nice. So, you know, if there's any way I can help, you know, I will help any way I can. And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm some amazing person that just loves helping people. There's something in it for me as well, right? It's a win-win scenario. Like I show something that a developer's working on, and you know what, my channel gets views as well, so that's a win-win. But yeah, Replay 2 guys are awesome, man. They're very hardworking. And you know what, guys, what's really interesting as well, right, is, you know, there's people we talk within the scene, right? So if there's someone out there, like, so the guys that are behind the Replay 2, for example, yeah, I've spoken to developer friends that I've got, and I've said, look, you know, do you know anyone from this team? And when they go through the people involved, they're like, look, I've known this guy for a number of years, he's only ever been solid. And I got spiked. Right, let's run something else. This is awesome. I don't mind. See, I like the Amiga graphics for this because that's what I played it on, or the Atari ST. But these don't look bad either, right? It looks kind of nice. He's got more colors. He's got a turbine and everything as well this time. So good stuff there, right? So look. Yo, Alan Roth, wicked man. Have a good day. Yo, Philae, man, wicked. How you doing, man? I was just giving you a shout back there a little while ago. I generally do, man. So, guys, Philae is someone who I would call an educator, man. He's educated. Many. Okay, let's go Psychic Storm, right? So he's educated me about many games, right? Many niche games. Like the guy knows all the hidden gems, and he's put many my way. Now I've definitely forgotten a lot of those gems because when I run something again, oh, super system card, right? I'm probably doing something wrong. There's probably something in options that lets me do it, right? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm gonna run with something else. There's probably a way to do it. I seriously can't remember. Wicked. Okay, how long have we been streaming for? Oh, 1 hour and all right. So the maximum amount of time is maybe about another half hour. Try and end it at 2 hours, so I can maybe just. Yeah, no, I want to do that PC. I want to see if I can create that partition without reinstalling Windows. I'm pretty sure you can. I can't remember what it was, what the kind of restrictions were, right? I think there's a game called Riot Zone, which was a beat 'em up. Okay, that was kind of interesting. And guys, if you're just tuning in, this is a work in progress core. It's a pre-release update that I've got, and we're kind of just messing around and trying stuff out. Yo, SNK Kev, bro, how you doing, man? I'm good, man. I'm good. We're trying stuff out, and yeah, we're just live testing. We did come across a few issues. The sound on Penguin, there was a graphical glitch on Castlevania that wasn't there in handheld mode but was there docked. So yeah, there was some stuff there. Yo, wicked. I mean, I like it when Philae and SNK Kev chat, man. You know, I feel kind of good, right, when I hear that that, what is it, let's have a look. Okay, well, I feel good when I kind of hear that you know, people have met and yeah, people have met on this channel. It feels good. It feels good that, you know, it's nice to meet people in a community, right? That's wicked. Tony Hawk, I think I've said that before. It cracks me up. I'm gonna go Hawk, right? He just looks better. The other one looks a bit too bulky. This game isn't bad, man. Oh, so SNK Kev, how long have you got left for your exams? You know, my daughter's studying for exams. They've got a week off school now, though, mind you. But yeah, she's actually done really well in the exam so far, at least according to her. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So yeah, she's got like a month or so left, and that's it. All her exams are done, man. She finishes school and begins college. Is there an issue with the sound here, guys? I haven't got it too loud. No, maybe that's how the sound is, like lightning sound. Street beat. Okay, let's use a special. No. Twister. Do you know what game that I'm kind of looking forward to is Knuckle Bash, man. And what's the other one? Night Stalkers. That'll be a good one as well to come out. I don't know if it'll come out for Mr. Analogue Pocket or whatever, but just FPGA in general, man. It'll be nice to have that one. You know what? I mean, they made some of the female characters hot in these games, man. I mean, she's out there to kick your ass, right? But she's got stilettos on. She's hardly got anything on her legs. You know, games were made for the boys back then. And no complaints. It's interesting how the rain effects are, right? It's just flashing. It's just lights flashing, but it kind of looks alright, man. You know, I would have liked this game back then to play. I would have liked it. It feels decent enough. It's not by any means the best beat 'em up, but it's not bad at all. Something I should just play in handheld mode and go through this. Someone actually recommended playing what was that, Rival Turf? But it had a different name in Japanese, and there was 3 parts of it on the SNES. They recommended that I play that, and it wasn't bad. But then someone else said to me the game's whack. I didn't actually mind it from what I played on it. I still think Streets of Rage 2 is like the best beat 'em up ever made. I don't think anything will beat that. I like other beat 'em ups. I like Streets of Rage 4, Teenage Mutant Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. I like all the Capcom stuff, Cadillac and Dinosaurs, Final Fight, you know, Captain Commando, a lot of the CPS 1.5 stuff. Alien vs Predator I never really played. It seems good though with all the moves and everything you got in there, but none of them come close to Streets of Rage 2, right? And the reason for that is all the others are arcade games that were designed to guzzle your coin, right? Whereas you know, Streets of Rage 2 was designed for a console, so it was designed to be completed without guzzling you up, right? So that's the big difference with the Streets of Rage games compared to anything else. What's chat saying? Oh, a nursing program. Okay, cool. You know, SNK Kev, anyone that goes into nursing, right, you know they're a good person, right? Because you know, in order to get into that job, you've got to be someone that genuinely has cares for other people, right? Because you're not going to get someone that doesn't care for people that's going to go, you know what, I want to get into I want to get into any kind of medical job, right? Whether it's a doctor, a paramedic, you know, nursing, whatever you want to get into, right? It's because you care for people, right? So that's, I've got a lot of respect for people in that in the medical profession, right? You know, stuff like midwives, they're absolutely amazing, the jobs that they do, right? And it's not an easy job. It's not, yeah, it's not a job that there's a lot to that job. So, you know, hats off to you, buddy. I'm not actually wearing a hat. It would be a bit weird if I wore one indoors, but yeah, hats off to you though, my metaphorical hat that I'm taking off for you. Okay, this game ain't bad, you know, this game ain't bad, and I always say that if a fighting game, or if a game in general, especially beat 'em ups, right, has an elevator in there, then it's kind of good, right? Sorry, I just picked up an ice cream, it just reminded me, right? So before this, I took my kids to the park where they lost the Frisbee in a tree. I tried, I found like a discarded beer bottle in the, on the floor. Someone dumped one, you know, as they're doing the park. So I ended up trying to chuck that, trying to get the Frisbee down. I actually hit the Frisbee, I got it down a bit lower, then it got stuck again. But in the end, after like 15 minutes of constant shots, I kind of gave up. But what happened on the way back, I said to the kids, you want to walk back the long way or the short way, because there's a shortcut to the park. And the reason was, I said, look, if we see an ice cream van on the way, I'll buy you an ice cream van. So they said they want to walk around the long way, right? So smart thinking increased the chances of getting an ice cream. So as we're walking back, right, we're about 75% of the way home, yeah, 3/4 of the way home, and we hear an ice cream man. They're like, Dad, can we run? I'm like, no, because every time you two run, right, they end up barging each other, and one of the youngest ones ends up falling, and then he just starts crying, man. And I'm like, oh man, when are you gonna stop, right? But yeah, you know, rightfully so. He's fallen down on the floor. No major injuries or anything. He is a little bit of a crier, you know, as you do with the youngest. So they heard the ice cream van. I said no. I said, look, if it's around the corner, we'll get it. But by the time we got around the corner, the ice cream van was gone. So they didn't get one. They were gutted. They wanted to search it, and I was like, nah, man. I'm tired now. Dad's an old man. I'm tired from going to the park. I need to go home, and I need to set up a stream for my people, yo. Okay, let's go another game. This game's alright, you know, we should play it. Yo, wicked. Let's hit that. Yes, absolutely. Listen to SNK Kev. He knows what he's talking about. Right, let's go. Guys, Right Zone, try it out. It's if you like beat 'em ups, it's a decent game to try out, man. It's a decent game to try out. Definitely. Okay, Road Spirits, right? What's Road Spirits? What's going on? Oh, wicked. SNK Kev, congratulations on being a member for 3 months. Super duper appreciated. Yeah, do you know, I liked it when games were for boys. I mean, like, I remember, see, when we do some of the adverts one, I sent you a cool screenshot of your Discord chit chat. Oh, wicked, man, nice one. I'll check that after, man. So, guys, so I want to do an advert stream at some point. I don't know how popular it's going to be. I just want to go through the adverts, and if I'm watching them, I might as well do them in a stream. Hopefully I won't get copyright warnings or strikes, because some of those, where I've downloaded them from, it's got, like, I think logos of other YouTube channels where they've uploaded them and where they've ripped them from, for example. But guys, I remember this old Commando advert, and you know, this old Commando advert cracked me up, right? This is how it was back in the 80s, right? So they had the game Commando in there. What was the guy doing? It was showing that this guy is so hardcore, right? He's got boxes of TNT. It's got TNT explosion, you know, beware explosions or explosives written on the boxes. My guy has got his foot on there. He's leaning it forward with his knee bent, and he's smoking a cigarette on this stuff. This is a mentality that we had, right? Wow, you're as a kid, you're like, wow, Commander's so badass, man. He's smoking a cigarette in a room full of TNT, right? But in actual fact, when you grow up, you think that guy is an idiot. Why would you take a cigarette into a room full of TNTs, right? Okay, was it? There was a gear button in here, wasn't there, that I didn't use last time. Here we go. Not a bad game. I think I was trying this out last time and it was like, wow, right, okay, I was just in. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to say it's up, down for gear. I like this 8-bit though, man. I don't always use Bluetooth controllers, but for the Analogue Pocket, it's just so easy. I think it's called the SN Pro or something. Such a good pad from 8-bit though. Not really the best for fighters. Fighters always best on a stick, but it's got a very, very true to SNES style D-pad, which I so very much like, man. But yeah, adverts back then were just stupid. Some of the stuff that they used to do, right? But they were made for boys, like we were saying. You know, you always had the dude around there, you know, cigarette in mouth or cigar in mouth, like a machine gun, a gun. Two women in their bikinis on there, you know, and as you're growing up, you're like, yeah, man, this dude is cool. I mean, the game might have been crap, but man, the adverts were damn good, man. The adverts were damn good back then. Okay, not really digging this. I think Big Al likes this game. He kind of mentioned this to me, but let's have a look. Let's now run another game. Okay, let's have a look. All right, here we go. Okay, you know what? Right, Aksambar, right, all 2 and 3. Let's go number 2. That title just sounds interesting, right? Yeah, SNKK, definitely. You have to be a people's person to go into that profession, man. So absolutely awesome. When I see the stuff that medical workers do, and I feel again like over here in the UK, they're definitely underappreciated, man. I mean, like they were paid, they pay junior doctors like rubbish money. I know they're junior doctors, right? But man, you've got a PhD, man. You've got a doctorate. You're working, you know, you're working long shifts, long hours, and you're getting paid absolutely crap money, which is really, really bad. How far can you get on? You know what? Right. So Philae, when it came out, I tried playing it, right. So possibly with 1 credit, I might be able to get to the 3rd level now, right? But I'm going to be able to complete it with unlimited credits, right? Because it is a checkpoint one, right? So you got to learn the patterns. So it's not as bad. Okay, this game's decent. So it's not as bad as me, you know, completing a game where when you continue, you continue from exactly where you left off. So because it's a checkpoint 1, you can't just brute force your way through it. The only advantage that you get is if you keep continuing, you can get your magic up to 4. Man, I can't believe I can't shoot that damn thing, right? But yeah, hey Appley, how you doing? Yeah, so Shadow Dancer, yeah, I'm probably gonna do a stream where I complete it. So I would have completed it, or at least attempted to, but I only had an hour for the stream because I had an early, let's run part 3 of this, right? Because I had an early version of alpha. Hatego's really cool, man. Like Hatego's, I've got access to Hatego's early work in progress builds before the betas get released. So I'm very, 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 very happy and privileged to have that. Hatego's absolutely awesome. So I kind of wanted to do a video because I thought it was running really, really nice. So initially when I got it, the backgrounds were all mash up. Then they got resolved. I know it's still working on implementing the Mega Drive visual display processor, but it was a good one. So I thought, let me do a stream, and I've done a stream but I only had 1 hour for that stream filling. I had to go to night shift after, so I think I've done it from like 4 to 5 p.m. But in that 1 hour, I actually got to the last stage. I had big shout out to Retro Alarm, right? So Retro Alarm was giving me tips on there. I didn't, you know, he told me you could kill the crocodiles. You have to be quick, and you can do them with your melee attack. So it's really good. Someone's already 1cc'd it, right? They've posted the links on JT's Discord. Oh, what's his name? He's another ninja. I can't remember. Something ninja. Maybe with an M something ninja, right? And but I think the video's private, so you have to find the link on JT's Discord. But he's 1cc'd it, right? So I didn't watch it all the way through. What I did was I kind of flicked through it to see, you know, how's this guy getting past certain sections, and it was an absolute pleasure to watch. Like, you know, with the exception of maybe Street Fighter World Warrior and Champion Edition, they're probably the only games like a 1cc. But I don't really, anyone that, you know, speaks about a 1cc of a fighting game, I don't really count that as a 1cc, right? You know, I know technically it is, but Street Fighter 1, the patterns weren't, Street Fighter 2, sorry, the patterns weren't very, very difficult. Don't get me wrong, I still might lose when I get to the bosses, there's a good chance I can, mainly because I've forgotten some of the patterns now. It's been a while, but I think at one point I could just get through that game without effectively losing a round even, right? These shmups are good, man. These shmups are good. So, but yeah, I like watching some of the 1cc's. Retro Alarm is someone that does some 1cc's. I think he can do quite a number of games. Retro Tuner's really good at games, and I'm pretty sure he's 1cc'd some stuff as well. So yeah, there's some. Philip, what are you like with 1cc's? Have you are you good at any 1cc's? Have you done any? I know you're good at games, right? Because you whack my ass at Street Fighter. So guys, if Philip ever offers you a Fightcade, the guy's hustling you. Yeah, don't let him play you for money, right? Even if he loses first, he will hustle you. It is like you know, like when you watch those movies, right, where the hustlers come in. Philly is a hustler. Right, let's now put on the next game. Oh, wicked! Wow, that's an achievement, man. Gradius is tough. I'll see you playing it sometimes, actually. Well, I think last time you were playing an MSX version. I was watching. I don't know if I said hello in chat, because sometimes when I log on from my work PC, I'm not logged in. It's just I've got a browser open. Right, let's now go after R. Okay, there's usually a lot of games in there, so we kind of ran the Sherlock Holmes ones at the beginning. What's this? Star Parodia? Is that a play on Parodius? I wonder. Amazing stuff. Wicked. Oh, wicked. Oh no, okay. Yeah, so Phil, I didn't get to the 3rd level with 1 credit though, right? I got to the 2nd level definitely without credit, and after that it was just, man. Oh. Right, okay. You know, so Gradius 3 Fast ROM, right? Is that gonna be, you know what, there's a way of getting these to work. What the hell's wrong with me, man? Where are they, right? There's got to be an option, right? No, it can't be CD debug. That don't make sense. Okay, I can't remember. There was a way to get these to work, guys. I can't. Can't be. That's got to be the tap, right? Let's have a look. No. Okay, it's not that. I'm pretty sure there was a way to get stuff to work. Did we? Okay. No, that's not going to do it. Let me go back to. Let's go back to default. Right, okay, let's have a look. Can't remember the way to get stuff to work. Let's have a look. Okay. Ooh, Super Ear Zonk. Ear Zonk was a decent game, right? That's like, it reminds me of, like, you know, BC Kid, or you know, PC Kid is on here, and Bonk. It reminds me of his cousin Ear Zonk. Wicked. Very, very stylish, man. So when I did a video a while ago talking about the top 33 PC Engine games, and one of the games that people mentioned was like Ear Zonk. You never mentioned it, and the reason for that was, you know what, guys, I never had this game, so because I never had it, I couldn't say it. So, you know, I wish if I kind of did. It's really, really good. So I don't even know if this game well enough to know whether it's different from the PC Engine version, right? Or is it the same version just with CD sound? Ooh, I thought that what was going to get me. I'm going to cue them up. It looks good. And the power-ups are like the power-ups from Bonk, right? Or I like calling Bonk PC Kid, right? Because that's what I knew it as when I had my Japanese version. And that was one of the games where, you know, we were talking earlier when you bought like a Japanese game and you regretted it because you ended up buying like a whack game. That was not the case with PC Kid or Bonk, right? absolutely love the game. I know many say Bonk 2's the one to play, and I should play it. I think Evilsoft, someone that I speak to a lot on Twitter from time to time, they always recommend that game to me. And I did try it, but I haven't gone through and completed it. But that'd be a good game to go through and complete on the Analogue Pocket, man. So I imagine many of you guys that are watching this have an Analogue Pocket. If you haven't, you know, are you guys interested in picking one up in future? I definitely think it's very, very good value, even after you add the delivery and the taxes, right? Because I think to get it here in the UK, it will cost us the kind of best part of £300, right? Once you add delivery and custom charges on there. But you've got very, very good value in there, man. Especially with all, forget just the cartridge stuff on there, right? That's not really for me. The openFPGA stuff is big. It's absolutely great on this, man. Okay, I'm playing super crappy. I can just kind of hide here. I was hoping. Oh, okay, shot. Oh, okay, shot that dude there. Yeah, definitely a lot of inspiration from PC Engine, PC Kids, sorry. A lot of a lot of characters in there that you can see from that game. Wicked. Right, what we got here now? So guys, anyone that's coming late, what we've got left, about another 10 minutes of this stream. It is just literally testing out, what's this? Let's try this out. It is just testing out the like an update to the core, a work in progress, right? So I mentioned it at the beginning. So in order to run the games at the moment, you need to generate some JSON files. The updaters can do that for you. There's an option in there to say generate JSON files for the PC Engine CD core, or cores like the PC Engine CD, and it does that for you automatically. What Mazamaz, the developer that has brought this over to the Analogue Pocket, is trying to do is he's trying to get rid of the requirement of having JSON files, right? So you pick a game the way you pick a ROM file for the Super Nintendo, the NES, the Mega Drive, you know, whatever system, PC Engine. For the PC Engine CD, you just pick the game and bang, it just loads up and works. Also trying to remove that 27 file limit. As well as that, there's some errors that I forgot what the errors were, but yeah, he's looking to address those. So Philly, Fighting Street, we did play. You know what? I've got the volume quite low because you're using headsets. I can hear that the sound's there, but I haven't got it too loud. I might actually start using headphones at some point. I might just start getting them. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird. I don't really like wearing them indoors. Okay. Okay, so you need to load it. Begin. Oh, okay. See, back in the day, I would have liked this, you know? I would have liked it. See, a game like this, like, okay, so I know people like, what's that one? Fire Emblem, Advance Wars and stuff like that. So Fire Emblem, Advance Wars. See, games like that, for me, I think they should be played on a mobile phone. Like those kind of strategy games, a mobile phone is perfect for that. There's a few out that I've tried. There's an Advance Wars clone that's really, really good, right? I just can't see myself these days sitting in front of a TV and playing a game like this, right? Or even on like the Analogue Pocket. That's me personally though, right? That's something that I'm very, very happy just playing on a mobile phone, right? They work well on that, right? So there's strategy games on there. In fact, there were some strategy games I played on like Java based mobile phones, right? They just worked really, really well. I remember on one of the Nokias had a color screen, like a Java kind of operating system. Oh, Super Raiden. It just worked really, really well. If I'm playing games on like an Analogue Pocket, or I'm playing games on a TV, I want something that I can't play on a mobile, right? If I can play it on like a mobile device or on a touchscreen, then yeah, I don't see much point in it, right? I know some people would disagree with that, and each to their own. There's some people that I speak to that absolutely hate handheld gaming. They'll even go as far as, you know, all the games that we've got, like oh, it's such a good game. All the games that we've got, like oh, I thought I had turned on. Yeah, so all games like Game Boy games, right? They only like playing those on a TV, right? They will not play those. Yeah, they just won't play those games on a handheld, even though they are handheld games. They like playing Game Boy games on a massive TV. But I guess that's the opposite to me, right? Where I like playing games like a SNES game, a Mega Drive game, damn it, even the latest PC games, I like playing them on handhelds more than playing them on an actual TV, right? So I guess, you know, important thing is we've got choices. There's so many different ways of gaming now, right? And guys, I've got nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with emulation. In fact, I've got I really like the Mio Mini Plus, and I actually bought a second one. And I'm going to my friend's restaurant tomorrow because he's invited me again, and he invites the whole family. So as a gift from him, I'm gonna give it to my boys to give him. I'll just need to copy my micro SD card over to his one, right? So he can have everything there, because I've got. Hopefully it should work, right? I've got Onion OS on my Mio Mini, and I'm just gonna take the micro SD card out and copy it onto a new one for him to use, right? And then yeah, I'm just gonna gift that to him because yeah, he's just a really nice guy, man. It's very generous of him to invite us over to his restaurant. Does it every so often. I go there at least 4 times a year, man. And yeah, really nice. So yeah, he's gonna be pleased with the Mio Mini, right? Because I'll tell you what, that Mio Mini Plus, it's good. Whereas the Analogue Pocket, I'm like, oh, this is the Analogue Pocket, I need to be careful with it and everything. The Mio Mini is just cheap, man. Like the second one I bought was like 34 pounds delivered, man. I mean, wow, for something that can do kind of up to PlayStation. I guess there's a few games it won't do well, but it can do Symphony of the Night well, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Actually, I wouldn't play Symphony of the Night on that. It's a little bit uncomfortable for that game. I generally only play games that can be done with the 4 face buttons. The shoulders aren't very comfortable. They're not very practical. Mind you, you don't really need the shoulders in Symphony of the Night. It's only if you're using the different powers, so you can actually get by on that. But yeah, it is it's a good handheld, man. Very impressed by it, to be honest. And Onion OS is very good, very like really good. I just like that kind of freeze feature where it creates a save state of I don't know how many games. It's doing at least the last 20 for me, right? And you can go flick through the last games, and it's got a screenshot and a save state, and you just click on that, and you'll carry on from that exact same place, which I think works really well. No, you know what? I've got good hookups with food. You know that. At my work, I generally get so I get look after like no cost food at ZZ's, Five Guys, and there's one more as well, and Wagamama's, right? And then I used to get Nando's as well, but not so much anymore. I don't get Nando's anymore for free. I think certain guys that I work with just rinsed it out too much, so they had to put a stop to it. But you know, this is a real life friend of mine, man. He's got a restaurant called Dayab's. It's the best Pakistani restaurant in London, right? It's famous, it's renowned, it's always packed. But you know, he always invites me, and then you know, he comes around to my house as well. He's played the Mister, he chills, we chill sometimes, but he's invited me, so I'm definitely gonna go over there. Yeah, man, Five Guys is awesome, man. I really like their try their Cajun fries, man, with that Cajun sauce on there. It's really nice, man. It's very nice. But yeah, cool. Let's what time have we got? Oh, okay, like just a few more minutes. Let's do one more game. Philly, you got a request for me, my bro? You got a request that we can finish on? We'll make it the last game. And I hope everyone's having a good Saturday, guys. I really hope you are, right? I hope you're chilling. I hope you guys aren't working, although I do work weekends myself many times. Nope. Okay, that's a first. Okay, I can't believe you haven't got okay, not a big PC Engine. It's a PC Engine CD. Wicked. Okay, but you bought the Duo though, right? You did buy the Duo. I'm pretty sure you did, because I'm sure you posted a picture where you're like, guess what I got in a delivery, and I'm sure it was the Duo. So even though you're not a big PC Engine guy, you do have the Analogue Duo. Right, let's go with one game, and you know what? I'm gonna go with a classic, right? Let's go. Oh, okay. I don't think the English translation works, but let's try it. Let's see if it works. If not, we'll run the Japanese version. Is it working? Okay. Oh wow. Okay, the translation's working. So I've got 2 versions of the translation. One that I kind of converted, one that's less than 27, and this is the one that was you know, archived on the internet somewhere. Again, has a brilliant intro. Absolutely love it. This is a good game. It's well worth playing. It's classic Vania. It's good. It's difficult, but oh yeah. What your PC Engine Duo is still sealed? Wow. Okay. Your Analogue Duo, or whatever it's called, the Analogue Duo, right? Wow. Okay, that's interesting, right? So I guess we've got so many different ways of playing like PC Engine really well, right? Whether it's on the Mister, whether it's on the Analogue Pocket, the calls are fantastic, man. Absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. So Wicked. Well, guys, you know what? That kind of wraps it up for this video. Thank you for everyone that dropped by. If you haven't hit the like button and you enjoyed the content, I really do appreciate that. If you did hate it though, and I do understand, I can be annoying sometimes, hit that dislike button. But yeah, guys, have an absolutely awesome Saturday. Be awesome to one another, guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.